Hi there. Very good evening to all of you, and good morning to those in the US and in the Americas. This is Simply Stocks, and I'm live in this live session as promised around 9:15. So this time around, I was able to make it on time. And hi, Jan Elias. Hi. So I hope all of you would be doing extremely well in your investments and doing well in your trading as well in the market. Uh, so today I would like to bring forward to you one stock uh, which has performed well over the last 12 months, but looks like set to perform exceedingly well going forward. So we'll discuss about that. Uh, we'll also discuss about and answer your queries. So I'll answer your queries. We'll not talk much about the markets because it has been sideways, but we'll answer your queries and we'll discuss about this particular stock that I feel is going to do extremely well going forward. I'll make a video on the same in a month's time, in a couple of months' time or so, 1.5 months. But just to give you a snapshot about this company, was I believe that most of you might be, some of you would be some of you would be invested in the stock because it is one of the stocks that you might be knowing about. But what I feel about it, we'll discuss about as to what I believe that the numbers could end up being. So somebody asked me here, I think it was Sayed Tariq. So assalamu alaikum to you. uh, why in evening? Probably I'll try to do it on Thursdays on evening because there was a suggestion by a lot of people that on weekdays it's better to have it in the evening rather than in the afternoon. And on Sundays we'll have the session probably around in the afternoon. So that is what this time around it's going to be from now on, that on Thursdays the sessions would be in evenings, maybe around 7, 9 or 10 p.m. And on Sundays it would be in the afternoon. So that's my call. All right. And if you would like to ask any queries, you can ask through the super chat and super stickers. So there's a super chat coming in. Thanks a lot, Sachin, for that. IRCTC went to take fresh entry effect of split effect of a third wave. Uh, when to take fresh entry, I can say below 3,000, closer to 2,800, 2,900. If it reaches there, would be very good levels to get into. Or after split, if it falls 10 to 15%, which normally a stock falls around 10 to 15%, that's when you should get in. Effect of third wave. So split, what will happen is probably the stock may fall 10 to 15%, as I said, but then the upward journey will continue. And second thing is third wave effect. We have to see how the third wave would end up being, and if third wave really is something that is going to hurt the travel industry big time again, then yes, the stock may fall. But I don't see the stock falling a lot because of the higher vaccination that the government is doing, that people are also interested in doing now. Uh, Things are getting much better on the ground with in terms of people getting vaccinated. So I would believe that, hopefully, fingers crossed, it won't be uh, that kind of a massacre that we saw in the second wave. So hopefully IRCTC should end up performing well over the next 2 3 years. So thank you for your contribution and thank you for your call through the super chat. So, all right. So, about this stock that I wanted to talk to you about, it just came to being that I was looking at some of the stocks. This is a 1,400 crore to around 1,500 crore market cap company, and this is into packaging. So most of you must have guessed it. And so this is Mold-tek packaging, and I thought of it as a company that is into probably packaging of courier products or products that are being shipped through different you can say portals or Amazons, etc. But this is a very interesting company. So, just to give you a snapshot about Moltec packaging and to know about it, their products ranges from sanitizer containers, dispensers, food containers, paint packaging, lubricant packaging, and there's also bulk packaging for a lot of products that can be bulked up together. So a lot of domains that it works in, and that's why it has a leadership in this space and is doing extremely well. The company is doing extremely well in terms of numbers. So this company also exports its packaging materials abroad and also does it here in India. Basically, they are into this ice cream packaging, other kind of food products. Paint industry is also a part of it. Then they make sanitizers and all those kind of sanitizer bottles that we work with. So they are into all sorts of domains, and they have been producing very decent numbers of late, as we have seen. So basically, the stock is not quite done like in reasonable terms, not quite, you can say, put the share market on fire, because if you look at it from around February this year, February it was around 400, and today it is around 500. So it's up by around 25% in around 6 8 months. So it is up and it is doing well, but it's not something like gone up 3 4x in 6 months or something. Yes, in a year it is up above 100%, nearly 100% or so. But if you look at the numbers are good, and it is trading at around 23 24 times earnings, current earnings. So that's why it looks pretty attractive. Very hard to find any company in this space which has I mean which has a leadership, as well as it's not trading at very high valuations. So this one is not quite at extreme valuations, because it is uh, gaining momentum in terms of earnings. So if we talk about earnings, then if I look at the consolidated numbers, I'm seeing these numbers on screener. uh, so in 2016, FY16, it was 267 crores, and in 2021 it went up to 480 crores, which it seems like would be around 550 crores this year in FY22. So it has doubled in 4 or 5 years. The numbers have, in terms of sales. So sales are growing around 18 20% in a very competitive market. That's what it is doing. Operating profit margin of around 20% is quite decent when you talk about it. And then we come to this net profit thing. So net profit has gone up uh, quite appreciably from around 24 crores in FY17. In the last 4 years, it has doubled. So it has doubled in 4 years. That means it has grown by around 18% CAGR, the net profit. Whereas the PE is around 22 or 23%. And if you look at forward earnings, then we are looking at a PE of no more than 20 times. So it's trading at 20 times. And I'm looking at FY23. So FY23 earnings, Mold-tek packaging is trading at 20 times FY23 earnings. And the stock per se, if you call it, is not very expensive. It's not something that you should be thinking that, okay, if we buy here, whether there is a lot of downside. Yes, 8 10% down the stock can go. You can buy here and buy more at 440 450, but can't see it going below that. Trading at 20 times 2 year forward, growing at 20%, it should be trading at 30 to 35 times. And if you look at the EPS, then EPS could end up being around, you can say, 35 to 40 rupees in 3 or 4 years' time. So 40 rupees, 35 times, we are looking at 1200 to 1400 on the stock in 3 to 4 years. This is a very, very decent stock to hold currently, with a dividend yield of 1.5%, 1.4%, 1.4%. Very, very decent company to buy and hold as a small cap company from a long term point of view. Yes, you can say that the growth can be stalled if another wave comes in. There could be problem with higher competition, etc. but it seems like it is one of the market leaders, and it has been a market leader for many months. So if you look at cash on books, then cash from operating activities have increased from 38 crores in FY16 to 68 crores. This time around, if you look at the ROE, it's around 30%. If you look at the ROCE, it's around 22%. If you look at shareholding, then we are looking at the DIIs having 14.3%, but there is around 6.7% with very high net worth individuals, which are very renowned. So you can safely say that 21% is with the DIIs, 8% is with FIIs, and 35% is with the promoters. So basically, the public holds around 36%. I won't say it's very high promoter holding, there's not, but there is high institutional holding for the stock. So in that regard, also the stock per se looks very decent. I will do an analysis on the numbers and exact numbers as to what we believe could be by FY25, and we'll put up a video later on. But at the moment, around 450, 500, very safe bet to buy some at these prices, buy at lower levels, and hopefully the company would be around 5,000 crore market cap in around 4 years time, 5,000 to 6,000 crore market cap or so. Okay. So that's about Mold-tek packaging. Now I'm ready to answer your queries. Kindly use the super chat and super sticker feature that will help me grow the channel. That will help you also ask me questions and eke out answers in greater detail and in earnest. All right. Kilpest around 480, 470 would be good to buy for 3 years time frame. I think wait for further decline. You can buy some here and more at 470, 480. And also to my Patreon members and those who have not become members, kindly you just go through the description and you'll get the link. I hope you're liking what you're seeing on the portfolio. Uh, in my portfolio, there are around five stocks, 5 to 6 stocks that I have, and most of them are doing decently. I won't name them because if you want to know my portfolio, become a $10 member there. But at least two of them, three of them have done exceedingly well, and hopefully those who are holding with me doing well and are doing well as well. So there's at least three companies that have done well over the last year or so. And one of them which is into home innovation, etc., which is into you can say housing, has been doing well, and there has been a bulk deal in the stock. So that's why it is performing on circuit. So those who are not part of Patreon, kindly do become a member then, and hopefully you'll only get benefited through it. uh, if you are there, and you can always cancel the 1 month. If you take a monthly membership, you can always cancel it by the end of the month. All right. Coming to the queries which are coming in, Relaxo, I would prefer Bata on declines. I have done that many times, I've said, and I think Bata is on a cusp of a major breakout. And I won't be surprised if you see Bata at 4,000 in a couple of years' time when things completely open up. Uh, See, thanks a lot, Manmaran, for your contribution. FL, to me, it looks like that the revival has taken place, and I think 4,200, 4,400 was very good levels to get into. Now it has run up a bit. On declines can be added, but don't have a heavy position in such stocks where there are issues with, you can say, clients, etc. So that's my call on FL. Yeah. Okay. What else? Loris Lab looks very good at 650, 660. Probably you can buy. Have patience. In a year's time, you'll see 1,000 plus. In a couple of years' time, I think we are headed towards 2,000 on the stock. I think there's a long way to go in Loris Lab, even from these levels. Accuracy is a buy below 600. I think at current levels, if you want to buy more. If you have bought at lower levels, do not do anything. Just hold on to the stock. I think again should do well going forward with the kind of investments that most of the people have done in it. It looks like on a big growth path over the next 2 3 years. SRF looks expensive, so my call on SRF is that probably avoid for the moment and wait for declines in most of the chemical companies. That would be my call in it. Escorts looks like is coming back big time. So if one is a risk taker, can take a little bit of risk and buy. You could see 15-20% upside in the stock, but that's just purely a trade, not an investment bet. Escorts. GMM Fodler is a good investment bet from a 4 5 year time frame, not a trading bet. So here the things are completely different. Probably you won't see heavy surges on the stock, but you can buy and hold. Sequent a disclaimer, I have the stock. I think you can buy at current levels. Declines to 210, 220 would be even better to add. Probably one more quarter of pain is there, and then we'll see numbers. You can say shaping up well. So that's on Sequent for you. Another point I would like to make here is that most of the consumer companies have done nothing. White goods companies have not done nothing in the last couple of years. I think going forward, we will see a change in that. I think consumer, whether it is large FMCG companies or mid and small cap consumer companies into food, etc., should end up doing well. I think one should look at those as well. Prithvi, thanks for your contribution. If you have any queries, you can shoot that. Thank you for your super chat contribution. Yeah, all right. Kilpest I've talked about, so probably you can add more around 450, 460. That's my call on Kilpest. Good evening, Indranil. Hope you're doing fine. I'm doing okay. Your view on Venki's and CDSL. See, CDSL you can keep adding. It's like a stock for years. Should do well. Not for 1 or 2 years. It's like a portfolio kind of a stock. Uh, the second stock you talked about is Venki's. Let me have a look at Venki's as to where the stock is currently, and we'll let you know. One thing I want to say about Venki's is that around 17 1800, it was a sure shot buy, and those on Patreon did make a lot of money when I told about it, that it is something that could really surge. So those people do know it now around 3000. If you see, I won't say that it would perform very well from here on in, because the big move has already taken place. If you are a trader, probably buy with a stop loss of around 2600 and look for 3800 to exit. As an investor, probably avoid the stock. That would be my call on Venki's. Yeah. All right. Santosh, thanks for your contribution. Tasty, absolutely. These two companies are very good. Kaplan Point, even from these levels, can end up being a multi-bagger. It has done well recently, but not appreciably well over 3 4 5 years. Although the company is pretty good. Tasty Bite, I've always maintained, is one of the best companies which consistently perform. And as Australia and Europe open up, America opens up in a few months' time, I think there'll be more surges in the stock. So both are a buy from a 3 4 year time frame. Yes, and thank you for your contribution. All right. Idea Vodafone will. I am of the opinion that it will survive. It's not going to go under. Now, how far the stock can go? Maybe 12, 13. So if you have, you can say high risk appetite. Yes, you can buy and probably have a 6.5 rupee stop loss for a 12 rupee target or something like that. But I won't suggest that you get into such stocks. That would be my call. IRCTC I've already talked about, so you can reverse the tape and probably take that on. Yes, the call. Fine Organics, I think they are better chemical companies. Although Fine Organic itself is good, but just with the chart check and what the chart is doing, I am not finding confidence in buying into the stock. So that's why won't be able to say that yes, it is a gung ho buy in that regard. It can go to 1 lakh for sure. Ashwin, Nestle, 20,000, 1 lakh in 10 years, probably a doubler every 4 years. So you'll see, I think you'll see it 70, 80,000 in 10 years time. It should be around 80,000. It looks like 1 lakh could be possible if things really get going well, but there could be splits and bonuses and all those things, so then the stock price might get reduced. But yes, the company is top class to buy from a 10-year perspective, even from these levels and valuations. So that's my call on something like a Nestle. Yes. Tanla has run up a lot. In my opinion, I've talked about it from 30 40 rupees. I won't say that it's a buy at these valuations. That would be my suggestion. Aarti Industries look good. I think Aarti Industries look a good bet even at these levels if you have a 3 4 year time frame. I'm just skeptical about chemicals because the run up has already been for 6 7 years. I don't know how long this will continue. At least 5 to 6 years it has been. So that's something that you need to look at and make a decision. Newgen software around these levels look attractive. Any level below 600, closer to 570, 580, looks good for Newgen from a long term point of view. Buildlasoft I have talked about on Patreon also a lot. Around 390, 400 looks very attractive from a long term point of view. 600 possible in a less than 2 years, probably 18 months time or less than that. So 12 to 18 months, you'll see 600 plus on the stock. The company is pretty good. It's just that a basic correction that is going on in Birlasoft and in Newgen as well. So that's the call. Okay, Sunflag Iron, I won't be able to comment because I don't know much about the company, so won't be able to comment. I'm sorry. That's the point. IRFC, why would you like to buy an IRFC? I would say buy IRCTC below 3,000, even from these levels. If you have a 3 4 year time frame, you will get very good returns in something like IRCTC rather than buying into Finance Corporation of Railways. Okay. It's not possible through Parthiban through a debit card. If you have an international credit card, you can take the membership on Patreon. Yeah. Info edge is surging. So if you have it at lower levels, hold on to it. If you don't have it, buy below 6,000, closer to 5,800, 5,700. I think it's on a move towards 7,500 and then 9,000, probably Info edge. But I think there will be correction in between, and that's would be the time to probably buy into it. Jubilant Food Works, any levels closer to 32, 3,300. If there is a 15% fall, get into it. If you have it, hold on to it. Do not book profits. I think there is better days ahead. If you have a couple of years time frame, the stock could do extremely well, as is the case with IRCTC as well. I think IRCTC is headed to 4,000 first of all, and then a correction, or maybe correction here, and then to 4,000. But I think there's more to go in it, because once things really open up and numbers start coming in, I see 70 rupees EPS for IRCTC once everything opens up. In that sense, I won't be surprised if you see the stock at around 5,000 even going forward. A disclaimer, I hold the stock. Happiest Mind, good levels. I think good levels to buy are 1450 to 1400 levels. Any dips that we had, that kind of dip just recently, probably it's a those are good levels to add. But again, I want to mention that Happiest Minds uh, individually is extremely expensive. could fall even more, and you could be in a situation where in the next 6 months you'll be not able to make money in it. So that's about happiest minds. Jubilant Ingrevia, I have to look. I mean, I cannot comment. Yes, you can buy Blue Star, have a 2 year time frame. I think next summer onwards, these kind of stocks like Blue Star, etc., which are summer oriented, should end up doing extremely well, like a Voltas or so. So you should have patience for a year and a half, and then really the stock should perform over this 18 months period. All right. India Mart has done its major trick. Yes, it could be staring at, just I'm saying technically, staring at a big move now towards 10,000, but not an investment bet at these levels. It has already done its bit, and probably I would avoid. Alright, guys, thank you. Thanks a lot for being online. Would be online on Sunday afternoon to answer your queries again. Kindly do subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you can get my video straight away when I post it. Thank you.